Welcome to the Thea Lee Podcast. It's March 6th, 2026, and we are on day 65 of reading through the Bible. So today, we have the king of Moab. The Israelites have now entered the plains of Moab, and they're camped on the east side of the Jordan River. And Balak, the king of Moab, sees everything the Israelites have done to the Amorites. And when the people of Moab saw how many Israelites there were, they were terrified. This king, Balak, decides to send messengers to call Balaam, son of Beor, to come and help him and set a curse upon the Israelites. And he tells him that there's this horde of people that has come from Egypt. They cover the face of the earth. They're threatening me. Please come curse these people for me because they're too powerful. And if you do this, maybe I can conquer them and drive them out of the land. I know that the blessings fall on many people you bless, but if you curse them, the people are cursed. So Balak sends elders of Moab and Midian with money to pay Balaam to place a curse upon Israel. So they go find him and they give him this message that Balak had sent. And so Balaam says, "Stay here overnight. In the morning, I'll tell you whatever the Lord directs me to say." So that night, God comes to Balaam and asks him who these men are that are visiting him. And Balaam said that Balak, the king of Moab, had sent them because of this vast horde of people who had come from Egypt. They cover the face of the earth, and he wants me to curse these people for them. And God says, don't do that. Don't go with them. You're not to curse those people because they have been blessed. So Balaam gets up in the morning and tells them to go home. The Lord won't let me go with you. So then King Balak, of course, is not happy with this. So he ends up sending more men and says that he will pay him really well if he will please do this curse, and he'll do whatever he says. But Balaam responded, "Even if he gave me his palace filled with silver and gold, I am powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God. But stay here tonight, and I'll see if the Lord has anything else to say." So that night God comes to Balaam again and says, "Since these men have come for you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do." So the next morning, Balaam gets up and saddles his donkey and starts off with these officials, but God is really angry that he's going, even though he told him to go. So he sends an angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and his two servants are riding along, Balaam's donkey sees the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his sword drawn in his hand, and the donkey bolts off the road into a field. But Balaam beats it and turns back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stands in a place where the road goes between two vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by and crushes Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beats the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. So this time the donkey sees the angel and it lays down under Balaam. In a fit of rage, Balaam beats the animal again with his staff. Then the Lord lets the donkey speak. He gives this donkey the ability to speak. And the donkey says, "What have I done to you that deserves your beating me 3 times? So Balaam says, "You've made me look like a fool," he shouted. "If I had a sword, I would kill you." But the donkey says, "But I'm the same donkey you have ridden all your life. Have I ever done anything like this before?" And Balaam admits no. Then the Lord opens Balaam's eyes so that he can see the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in his hand. Balaam bows his head and falls face down on the ground before him. And the angel says, "Why did you beat your donkey those 3 times? Look, I've come to block your way because you are stubbornly resisting me. 3 times the donkey saw me and he shied away. Otherwise, I would have certainly killed you by now and spared the donkey." But Balaam tells the angel that he had sinned. He didn't realize that the angel was standing in the road, and he will return home if you don't want him to go. But the angel of the Lord said, "No, go with these men, but say only what I tell you to say." So Balaam went on with Balak's officials, and when King Balak heard that Balaam was on the way, he went out to meet him in a Moabite town on the Arnon River, so way on the border of his land. And he's immediately telling him, "Didn't I tell you this was an urgent invitation? Why didn't you come right away? Didn't you believe me when I said that I would reward you richly?" But Balaam says, "Look, I've come, but I have no power to say whatever I want. I can only speak what God puts in my mouth." So Balaam goes with him to Kirath Huzoth, where the king sacrificed cattle and sheep. He sent portions of the meat to Balaam and the officials who were with him, and then the next morning, Balak takes Balaam up to Bamoth Baal. From there, you could see some of the people of Israel spread out beneath them. So Balaam tells King Balak, build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams so I can sacrifice. So Balak follows these instructions, and the 2 of them sacrifice a young bull and a ram at each altar. Then Balaam says to Balak, stand here by your burnt offerings, and I'll go see what the Lord will tell me. Balaam goes alone to the top of the bare hill, and God meets him there. And Balaam says to him, I've prepared 7 altars and have sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each altar. And the Lord gave Balaam a message for King Balak and said, go back and give him the message. So Balaam comes back to the altars and tells this message. Balak summoned me to come from Aram. The king of Moab brought me from the eastern hills. Come, he said, curse Jacob for me. Come and announce Israel's doom. But how can I curse those whom God has not cursed? How can I condemn those whom the Lord has not condemned? I see them from the cliff tops. I watch them from the hills. I see a people who live by themselves, set apart from other nations. Who can count Jacob's descendants as numerous as dust? Who can count even a fourth of Israel's people? Let me die like the righteous. Let my life end like theirs. So King Balak demands of Balaam, what have you done? I brought you to curse my enemies, but you have blessed them. But Balaam said, I will only speak the message the Lord puts in my mouth. So Balak takes him to another place, to the plateau of Zophim on Pisgah Peak. And he built 7 altars there again, and offered a young bull and a ram on each altar. And Balaam says to the king, stand here by your burnt offerings, and I'll go talk to the Lord. So the Lord meets Balaam and gives him a message. Go back to Balak and give him my message. So Balaam comes back and finds the king standing by the burnt offerings with the officials. This is the message he said. Rise up, Balak, and listen. Hear me, O son of Zippor. God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. Has he ever spoken and failed to act? Has he ever promised and not carried it through? Listen, I received a command to bless. God has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. No misfortune is in his plan for Jacob. No trouble is in store for Israel. For the Lord their God is with them. He has been proclaimed their king. God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. For now it will be said of Jacob, what wonders God has done for Israel. These people will rise up like a lioness, like a majestic lion rousing itself. They refuse to rest until they have feasted on prey, drinking the blood of the slaughtered. So Balak, of course, says, if you won't curse them, at least don't bless them. But Balaam again said, didn't I tell you I can only say what the Lord tells me? So then Balak tells Balaam to come with him and take him to one more place, and maybe God will let you curse them from there. He takes Balaam to the top of Mount Peor, overlooking the wasteland. Balaam again told Balak, build me 7 altars, and they did the sacrifices. By now, Balaam has realized that the Lord was determined to bless Israel. So this is interesting. It says, so he did not resort to divination as before. Instead, he turned and looked out towards the wilderness where he saw the people of Israel camped, tribe by tribe. Then the Spirit of God came upon him, and this was the message he delivered. So he was using divination before, but this third time he doesn't, and God still speaks to him. This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of the one who hears the words of God, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob! How lovely are your homes, O Israel! They spread before me like palm groves, like gardens by the riverside. They are like tall trees planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the waters. Water will flow from their buckets. Their offspring have all they need. Their king will be greater than Agag. Their kingdom will be exalted. God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. He devours all the nations that oppose him, breaking their bones in pieces, shooting them with arrows. Like a lion, Israel crouches and lies down. Like a lioness, who dares to arouse her? Blessed is everyone who blesses you, O Israel, and cursed is everyone who curses you. So King Balak now flies into a rage against Balaam, and he angrily claps his hands and shouts, I called you to curse my enemies, But instead, you have blessed them 3 times. Now get out of here and go back home. I promised to reward you, but the Lord has kept you from my reward." But Balaam tells him, "Don't you remember I told you and your messengers? I said I am powerless to do anything against the will of God. I told you I could say only what the Lord says. Now I'm returning to my own people. But first, let me tell you what the Israelites will do to your people in the future." This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of one who hears the words of God, who has knowledge from the Most High, who sees visions from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not here and now. I perceive him, but far in the distant future. A star will rise from Jacob. A scepter will emerge from Israel. It will crush the foreheads of the Moab people, cracking the skulls of the people of Sheth. Edom will be taken over, and Seir, its enemy, will be conquered, while Israel marches on in triumph. A ruler will rise in Jacob, who will destroy the survivors of Ir. Then Balaam looked over toward the people of Amalek and delivered this message. Amalek was the greatest of nations, but its destiny is destruction. Then he looked towards the Kenites and delivered this message. Your home is secure, your nest is set in the rocks, but the Kenites will be destroyed when Assyria takes you captive. Balaam concluded his message by saying, Alas, who can survive unless God has willed it? Ships will come from the coast of Cyprus. They will oppress Assyria and afflict Eber, but they too will be utterly destroyed. Then both of those men returned to their homes. So alas, who can survive unless God has willed it? Thanks for listening. We'll talk again tomorrow.